You tell me when we're live.
We are live. We are live. Hey, Mr. Tekka.
Hey, how's it going? Can everyone hear me okay?
All right, 5:35, I'll call the meeting to order. And I hadn't read the mission vision for a while, so I'll go ahead and do that. At Aldo Leopold Charter School, the human and natural environments serve as text and lab for learning through direct experience, inquiry, and stewardship. ALCS vision is that Aldo Leopold Charter School graduates will use the skills, perspectives, and information they gain at school to enhance their own lives and to advance social, economic, and environmental sustainability. So I'll do a roll call. Will, would you please start and we'll just go around clockwise?
Surely, Will Tracy, Director.
Alexandra Tigger, member.
Jim McIntosh, Secretary.
Tanya Rivers, Vice Chair. Ruth McKenzie, Student Council President.
Harry Brown, Chair.
Erin Fitzgerald, GC member.
Oh, Jackie, just in time.
Jackie Riley, Business Manager.
And Zach.
Zachary Thecka, employee and science teacher.
Science teacher. Thank you. Agenda review. Zach, do you have access to the agenda?
I believe I do on the via the website here.
Okay, excellent. All right. Are there any proposed changes to the agenda?
Yes, I seem to recall that we were meant to put a vote on, putting up the ice tanks. And I don't see.
How would you feel about, instead of a vote, because it's not exactly an official governing council action, how about doing GC input?
Okay.
We have a straw poll.
Okay,
Still be public, but not an action per se.
okay,
Is that
so
acceptable?
in which case it doesn't need to be on the agenda.
Okay. Otherwise, we postpone it, Jim, if you want it to be an official governing council action. But,
Let's wait till the input, excuse me, for talking about.
okay. Anything else? Hearing nothing, I entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you, Alex Tager, seconds. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. Review and approval of minutes. Thank you, Jim. Your most literary minutes. Are there any comments, changes, suggestions, requests? Hearing none, again, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes. Anyone but Jim.
I make the motion, yes.
Thank
I
you,
will
Erin.
make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you. You have a second.
Second.
Right ahead.
How many seconds? Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the minutes as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all. Public comment? Believe there are any members of the public? Student council report, Raven McKenzie, you're on.
So we just did meet seniors and parents specifically a month ago, I believe. I think that was an absolute success. A lot of seniors came and we handed out like the yogurt bar and it actually went by smoothly. Especially considering last year. So far, I think up next for December, I want to get a winter dance arranged. I'm trying to figure out a venue now. I have a few different people focused on that. And Secret Santa within. And grade level advisory.
Cool. Questions for Raven?
Student government?
Just the president.
Present, right, I didn't hear it, that's why.
Soft spoken.
Yeah, and I'm deaf, so they're trying to understand. Are you calm down?
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome to stay for snacks.
No, I'm good.
Have a cookie, have a grape.
I had a cookie, it was really good.
Thanks.
That's on the record.
That is.
It's always good.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
On to staff report. Mr. Tecca, is that you?
It is. As for the staff report, there isn't anything too intense. Restoration projects started this week. They were yesterday and the day before. They were very successful, at least the ones that I had the opportunity to experience, which is the Rico burn site. To kind of facilitate that experiential ed and that stewardship of the environment. So that's like the big thing that was happening most recently. As for clubs and other activities that the students are participating in outside of their normal curriculum, drama is getting ready to produce a show right now. They chose to do a show called The Hallmarks of Horror, which is a parody of a bunch of different horror tropes. And then Board Game Club has just initiated. They just started some cool stuff. The From the pictures I've seen so far, the photographers all around the student body are doing really well with taking pictures of the different experiential ed opportunities that we have for the yearbook club. So I think those are the big updates for that. I know Mountain Bike Club ended because their season ended and it's a bit cold. So I think that's it for the general updates from the staff.
Go ahead, Jim.
Hey, Zach, good to see you. I am curious. We heard last meeting that one of the restoration projects was taking place at the Rico burn site. So since you're there, what are you guys doing up there?
We were doing line transect surveys, percent coverage surveys, density surveys, and building one rock dams to prevent a further erosion. And we do know that we weren't able to work with BLM this time due to the shutdown and things like that. But we will be working with them, I believe, in January because they do have a prescribed burn that's going to be going through there that we're going to be not participating in, of course, but they're going to be doing some talks about it from what I understand with the students there. So
Excellent. I got to watch that burn from the deck of my home, so I have a special relationship with it. Thanks for doing work up there.
absolutely.
Hey, Zach, what's going to happen to the data that you're gathering with the transects?
I'm hoping that data can kind of be incorporated with the more permanent sites that we've had with eco monitors in the past, and also using that data for some pretty cool table development in my science courses with environmental science and biology. And I was going to try to correlate that with some of the data that BLM and the Forest Service is collecting with some of the tree density surveys they've done up there. Nothing too intense right now, but hopefully in the future, if BLM finds it of value, the hope is that we see an increase in wetland species there to prove that there's water retention happening, if that makes sense. So,
Cool. Thank you.
yeah.
Any other questions for Zach? All right. Thanks. You can return to your smoke-filled room.
Yeah, well, we're cooking dinner right now, and the family's like waiting for me to go over there and help. We're all back here. So. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, man.
See you later.
Thank you, Mr. Tecca.
Thank you.
Jackie Riley, the business manager, was doing.
We have a few updates. I don't have a whole lot of information to share. Open enrollment has ended. It ended on October 31st. A few changes to people's insurance did take place. I did get an update on the bus that we are supposed to be waiting for. It is already in Albuquerque. It's on the lot. I'm super excited. They will deliver, but there's a charge for that. I can always go and get it. But he said they're just doing the final touches on it. They're adding the charging ports and just adding the final touches to what was ordered on that bus. So I'm thinking probably within the next month we should be getting that new bus. And it's going to be like a really big, it's a bigger bus than the ones we have here because these are route buses. This is actually an activity bus. Yeah. So it has the charging ports. It's going to be like really fancy.
Party bus.
The party bus. You can probably wait, yeah. Yeah.
Didn't you speak of discretion earlier?
Yeah.
You have to have some layout of fun.
Innocent party.
For the record, it is
Yeah.
clearly just a regular school bus.
I wonder if flying up to, I don't know if you like to fly, but
Right.
flying
And
up
then
would
driving
make
it.
some sense to drive
That's,
it back.
yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I love to
So
fly.
you have your CDC and.
My CDL,
Or
yeah,
CDL.
yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Very
Yeah.
good.
So I would love to be the first driver.
If a school bus is empty, do you need a CDL?
You do.
Even if it's empty, okay?
Mhm. You need a CDL even to move it like from right there to up here. Just any little, like even when we have our inspections, you need a CDL.
They don't handle like a Prius.
No. No, I imagine not.
But even if it's a
Not even like a
mechanic,
Suburban.
even the mechanic that's working on them, I mean, obviously they know how to work them, and if they don't have a CDL, you can't.
Yeah.
They have to run inside and get something.
So are there kind of custom pieces putting in like the ports and that is why they're currently,
Well, normally I think what happens is that they come in like just a standard, and then they go down the list and
whatever?
they add, yeah. Yeah, so I'm excited to see that.
Sounds like we're gonna definitely have it by the end of this school.
I'm really hoping, because he had said October, but then it barely got to Albuquerque in October, so. Yeah, and then I just sent out all the business reports. If anybody has any questions, we don't have any bars or anything to go over this time. Very, very basic.
I did write down some questions just in the spirit of continued learning.
Mhm.
I don't have a device to see the thing, so I wrote my question. I don't.
Okay.
Do you want to project it up there, or does everybody have it in front of them? Is this
I
gonna make
don't,
sense?
you know what, I brought my laptop, but I don't, it's not, it says security issues right now,
Okay,
so.
okay.
You
Can
can
we
ask.
try it without you want a projection, Will?
I can try.
Okay, I was gonna say we
Oh,
can
yeah.
see what the questions are.
Yeah.
Before we spend the time to project.
What am I projecting? specifically?
My finance reports, right? That's what your question's gonna be?
Yeah.
Okay, ask me and then we can.
Okay, so the first bit of it was on revenue, I
Mhm.
think. I think it said revenue at the top.
Yes,
And so one thing I noticed is that, so there were 3 columns,
right.
right? And it was like, I can't remember what.
Budget, actual and available.
And available. And I'm wondering, some of them looked to be about a third used up is kind of how I was thinking of it in my head. And some of the other lines were not a third used up. And I was wondering, should we be about a third used up at this point? Because we're a third of the way through the.
So keep in mind that you're saying revenue
Uh-huh.
and that's
So
would be
it's this
fair.
one. This report.
Yes,
Yep, and so when I see
When you-
like, yeah.
So maybe
go
when you
ahead.
say used up, you mean it's arrived at the school. It's in our
Or
account.
something, I mean, I don't, if you scroll down a little bit. Where did I see numbers? Like some of these numbers, I'm just noticing from the first column to the second column, some of them look about a third.
Here's a good example.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh, that's curious, I wonder what that's about, like, is that, so that's my curiosity.
It's not that it's used up, just by the way, the second column,
Uh-huh,
and I was just making a change to the phrasing used up and replacing it with we've received.
oh, okay,
The second column is the amount we have received
Got
so
you.
far this year.
okay, all right.
And
It has nothing to do with what we've spent.
right.
You will receive the complete amount.
Well, I hope,
at-
not in all of those funds, but I didn't mean to take.
No,
Jack-
no, I love it because I think, whenever I explain, I think I just, yeah, but I love the way you give those examples.
Well, then I would go on to say. Few funds occur the way you're picturing,
Okay,
roughly equal every month.
okay, right.
The important one does, right? State equalization guarantee,
Uh-huh,
Right.
that one does.
okay,
But many others depend on us spending the money first and then
right,
getting
and
reimbursed.
get reimbursed,
And that
right.
can happen in spurts.
Okay. Okay,
So
so
go-
that's, I was just curious, because I was like, oh, I think I'm noticing something here.
So going along with what you're saying, he said, how we get, he said, talked about reimbursements. So
Mhm.
I've been trying to do reimbursements at least once a month. So we are pretty caught up with our RFRs.
Okay.
And that's how, he said, we have that amount and then I send in the reports, they tell us what they need. And then they give us back our money,
Okay,
reimburse us.
and as you can tell, I'm still like learning, because I don't even use the right language, but this is how we learn.
No,
right?
yeah.
That's why
Absolutely.
exposing
Yeah, it's
ignorance
awesome.
and asking questions.
Supposing.
So if we go to the expenditures one, so my question on this one is, you know, there's some in that available year to date that have parentheses around them.
Yes,
And when I'm used to thinking, when I see parentheses, that I'm over.
right.
That's right.
So.
That
so
is
what
correct.
yeah, okay, so what is that about? How does that?
So let me explain each row. So
Okay.
budget is what we anticipate on getting. And then actual is what we have actually used. And those to me are the most important. Because encumbrances is what we plan.
Right. Mhm.
So when we see the available column, that's
Mhm.
actually taking all of those into consideration.
So it's budget minus actual minus encumbrance.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
And so even like that first one, operational is at a -19. That is -19. But we will do a budget cleanup and find places that we can put some of that money
Okay.
later on in the year when everything is kind of like settling in and stuff. We will find that, and then that encumbrance will be a lot less.
Okay.
And we're
So-
hoping that to not have that as a negative.
Okay, and so right now, we're not super worried about those.
I worry about it just because that's me.
It's your job.
Yeah, so when I see anything negative, like it does bother me, but I do know that after a while, we will be able, because we do have some, if you go all the way down, like if you look, there are some that don't have anything, that we do have quite a chunky amount, but
In the positive.
in the
that we could
positive, that we could
shift around.
possibly shift around.
possibly
Yeah,
shift.
yes.
Okay, so, that was one. Then I saw something, I think it was so keep scrolling down, Will, I think, I can't remember which one, keep scrolling down, I think it might have been in the bank statement, I can't remember, it was lube and wash. It was the lube and wash.
Oh, our bosses.
Yeah.
And I was like, $1,000?
In and out.
Who are we paying for?
That-
She's fucking-
well,
anyway.
you
That's too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
There.
So anyways, this is just me looking at things, right? I'm not really questioning, I'm just like,
Yeah, these school bus detail.
These are encumbrances, right?
That is,
Jackie's
actually-
missed the encumbrance report.
no, it's actually the PO,
PO encumbrance.
right, yes.
Yeah.
right,
So-
That's how much is authorized to be spent at that location.
So I think it's throwing you off because it talks about the wash,
Yeah.
but it's actually our oil changes. Like oil
are
changes
pricey.
and, yeah, which are very, very pricey.
My guess is they also take care of air filters and all sorts of other
Yes,
things.
yeah.
whatever,
And
yeah.
that's for the year.
That's for the year, yes,
So that's-
yes. See, and I'm just detached from car maintenance, cause I don't do it.
yeah,
I don't,
yeah.
my husband does it, we don't pay for it, cause
So-
I don't pay him,
So we don't,
so.
yeah, so we don't take anything to get washed there.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter.
No, but it is a lot. If
I mean,
you-
I guess it does matter, but I was just curious,
It
anyways.
sounds like a lot, but yeah, we're very,
The total for the year could be more than that amount, because we
Yeah.
probably already spent some on that.
Yeah.
Right, the encumbrance at the beginning might have been 1,600 or something.
right, yes.
Yeah.
Right,
it's
and so you
expensive, yeah.
spent a little bit of it.
Mhm.
Got it, okay. Okay, and then the other one I saw on this was, REC number 8.
It's a good question.
And so the reason why this caught my eye is because I'm working right now with REC
Pecos Valley,
10.
Will, it's right there at the bottom.
Yep,
Second line from
I'm working with REC 10 and I thought they were our REC. And so I'm like, what are we doing with REC 8?
I believe that I want to say that is our student drivers, like our student driving, what's that class called?
Driver's.
Driver-
Driver's
Right.
ed, yes.
Oh.
Well, I don't even know what REC is.
You are,
Like
we have an REC that we can go to for specific things.
Uh-huh.
But it's almost like the Federal Reserve. Other RECs specialize in certain areas statewide.
Right. Yes.
This one apparently is specializing in driver's ed. I didn't know.
I can tell you exactly what it
Regional
was.
Educational Co-op.
Thank you.
And they are regional.
Mhm.
If we needed them to help us get a special ed teacher, for example, we would go to REC 10
Which is a Deming,
and Cruises and Truth is Consequence. I believe they're 2 offices.
2 of us, okay. Anyway, so just was my attention.
Yes, no,
That's a good question.
What did we pay the fire department for?
CPR. For CPR,
For
Yeah, and-
staff.
Families actually paid for that. It's part of the
Yes.
class. High school.
For students.
Yes, high school health, you get CPR.
Wow. That's really cool.
School.
Do staff?
To do the training?
Yeah.
Staff do their own CPR training. This
Like
That,
all staff are required.
yes,
Okay.
correct.
Awesome.
So
Well,
that-
those were all my questions in the spirit of learning.
So the PECO Valley is for driver's ed enrollment for fall semester of
Okay.
2025. So that's just one semester.
Do families pay for that, reimburse for that, or the school pays for the driver ed?
We actually get
Good
it.
question for drivers.
Those, where it comes out of operational.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah, it's an elective that we offer, right?
Mhm. Yes.
We've always offered that.
Yeah.
I hate the fact it's online. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, discussion.
Okay, well, thanks for answering my question, and, it's not to like.
No, I want you to
not
ask
trip
it, yeah.
you up, It's like, it's more because I'm just trying to figure
Right.
out how things.
And I just always think if I can't answer something, I have my backup. Right here.
And hazelnut in it. These are allergic to.
Oh, thanks. No, no.
Other questions for Jackie?
Thanks, Jack.
I want to note one thing, since we should all be on the alert for fraud. Ms. Tager already heard this in the finance committee report. But we were the victims of a fraudulent email request to change a payroll bank,
Mhm.
Yeah,
and we're out about $2,000 as a result. But we've learned a lesson, so.
Is
What
there any,
happened?
oh,
Sorry.
go.
An email was sent to the business manager requesting a change of bank to be deposited in, to have their payroll deposited in. There was an apparent visual confirmation by the employee, but.
yes. And
nothing
it was
formal.
like back and forth a few times of email. I need, we need certain things to
Uh-huh.
change over the payroll information, and all that was provided, legitimate bank, everything. But it was a fraudulent bank account.
Do we have any recourse? Was there any
We already
insurance
did,
or
no,
already-
yeah, we already went through all the,
The bank tried to claw it back on our behalf, but it was gone.
right.
And so so there was an employee that was, like, somebody was impersonating? one of
Yes,
the employees?
yes.
So are they taking care of
The
that
person didn't
employee?
even know, the employee didn't even know.
So, but they've
Be-
been alerted because they might be
Right.
susceptible to further.
Not, no,
fraudulent-
they,
okay.
like, no social security, no
Okay.
no personal information was given.
You can change who your email says it's from.
Right.
Right, without changing the actual email address, so they didn't hack into the account, they just made it look like it was from.
Oh,
that
yeah.
account.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
person didn't get in.
Okay.
And they
And so it
probably
wasn't
just,
necessarily coming from that. It wasn't like they had stolen information.
Right, no,
From
yeah,
that
no.
person.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotcha. I just want to make sure that that person. is
So we
also-
have changed our policy, like now, they have to bring it in person, they have to actually.
Yeah.
Because we get those, we get them a lot, like
Yeah.
a lot, especially now.
yeah, they just go on the website, find a name.
Yep. Oh, yeah. It's happened to us at the university tons of time, right? Like
Right.
I get something from the.
And it
athletic
looks really
departments,
legitimate,
right?
it looks
Yes,
really
there
legit,
should
because the
be.
bank that they're asking for the money to be sent to. Is their actual banks, and
Yeah.
that was one of the things that our bank said, is that account should have never accepted it. They should have right away returned it back to us, because it wasn't like they weren't matching. So, but I did bring that out to the other bank, the receiving bank, and there's just nothing they can do, because those funds are gone.
Yeah, like it went in and came out. It's somebody.
I mean,
withdrew it,
immediately,
basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I assume we reported it for legal purposes.
Right, we reported it to the bank, and yeah. Yes,
Is there anybody, so does the bank handle it as a legal violation of, it's a crime?
well, we reported it to the people that they had suggested it.
Okay.
So that has been done. But it was a costly mistake.
And is there such a thing as insurance to protect yourself from this? That's a silly question.
Not that I,
Might be one day, but.
I mean, yeah, especially how often it happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
it happens very frequently.
Like with a credit card, the credit card company will cover.
Right, yes, yes.
Stop fraud.
And debit cards, so they'll cover enough debit cards, right, as an extension.
Most of the time, yes,
Um,
yes.
We're in the weeds, sorry.
yeah.
Well, but
No,
that
I
asks
think
is
it's a
a
good question.
decent question,
Good turn, yeah.
might be worth asking Tom's, I guess.
How do we,
Whether our policy covers.
oh, yeah, I had
fraud.
forgotten about that.
And for example, too, like these things can get much larger than just a couple $1,000s,
Right.
right? You could be talking your whole payroll is gone, or
Yes.
like
yes.
the university had, right?
Hack your whole system.
Your entire system, and then it costs millions of dollars. Not that they stole millions of dollars, but that the university had to pay millions
Yes.
of dollars to keep things kind of under wraps, and that's like, I think they're gonna get some of that back.
Mhm.
I don't know how it works with insurance, but there is insurance for that kind of stuff too, so these can be much bigger where like you might wanna think about coverage some.
Yes. I had not even thought about asking Palms. That's a good idea. I'll do that.
Anything else, Jackie?
That is all for
Thanks.
that side. Thank you.
Okay, on to the directory.
All right. Gonna keep it short and sweet, and that is going to be the theme for the rest of these directors' reports I have decided today.
It was salmon last month, by the way.
I was gonna
Thank
say
you.
too, yeah, he's waiting for it.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Thank you. I was waiting for someone to
You should bring prizes.
come to that. come to that conclusion.
No, I have to rewatch the meeting, so it's pretty fresh.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
Is there some, I missed something?
Yeah, his background color, he
So turquoise.
has had a tendency to ask the background color of his director's report, and it was salmon last.
Well, I was able to,
He wants to see if we're paying attention.
yes.
I would like you to see if we're paying attention to the.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Fair enough.
So significant.
Okay, so every governing council trying to do update on enrollment. Enrollment is 186 currently. Audit, we completed, Jackie and I, mostly Jackie, completed all the steps for the audit. Our exit interview was delayed for an unknown reason by Clifton Larson Allen, our audit providers.
It's supposed to be the 12th, right?
It's supposed to be the 12th,
Yeah.
deferred for an unknown reason, and we asked when it would be expected again. We have not heard back. So that's a bit of a holdup. That's somewhat relevant to the facility updates because our PSFA lease assistance will not arrive until the audit is completed. So as soon as that is done, we will have those funds to offset the cost of our WMU lease. Additionally, with the facilities, we're continuing to work on the acquisition of Jose Barrios. That has involved several steps trying to figure out how can we get the funding for the necessary capital improvements in order to reach the PSFA's occupancy standard and the average New Mexico conditional index, the weighted conditional index, which is an important distinction there. Currently, the Jose Barrios needs is estimated $1.3 to $1.5 million to get to that point. So that's a significant barrier. And we are doing our best to find avenues to accrue all of the funds for those repairs and to maximize the sum that we can provide for Silver Schools so that it works out for everyone involved, which is our top intention. I submitted our capital outlay request through the Grant County prospectors today. For $250,000.
Thank you, Will.
To do, that would essentially pay to replace the roofs on the two main buildings at Jose Barrios, which would be significant, and that's property protection. So that's a sound investment from a government level. If it's a government building, you want to make sure that the roof doesn't leak. And so figure that's a reasonable ask. And part of the math on this whole process is we're really operating on a lot of assumptions because we need piece A in order to get piece B and to get piece C, and then we find out what the final number is. And in order to expedite the process, is potentially in Aldo's best interest to come up with what we can forecast to be our best reasonable offer to present to Silver so that their school board can absorb that information and begin to have their own thoughts of what they need, and they can do a counteroffer and we can get to that next step.
Will,
Yeah,
can I interject at this point?
please.
That, so that we don't discuss details
Yeah.
of that offer, I would like to have a closed portion of this meeting at the end of the agenda, so that anybody watching doesn't have to wait for us to come back out to finish the meeting. We don't need to take any action as a result of this, but that will allow us to discuss the negotiations that Will just referred to.
Do we need to have a motion, a formal motion to make that?
When
happen?
we get there, we absolutely do. It's a
Okay.
roll call vote.
Okay.
You'll each record your vote.
Okay,
All right.
that seems reasonable
Yeah.
for, oh, another piece actually on the facilities. PSFA came to do their 5-year visit
Mm.
to Rich Hall, our current facility. Everything was within reason. We had a couple of fire extinguishers to have recharged and small. No significant concerns from PSFA, which is really great for WNMU.
Right?
There's more we could go on about in general from the director's report, but I always want to highlight enrollment, key financial facility pieces, and then some of the educational outcomes. And so middle school completed their second Camp Thunderbird trip, which was excellent, worked out for everyone. And the high school is just completed their restoration projects yesterday. Many students are chugging away at their passion projects, which is, I find, to be a really enjoyable experience to allow students to follow their curiosity and intrinsic desires to do things that are meaningful to them. One of the big strengths of our experiential program. So that's been fun, that's been positive, and we're looking at what the rest of the year looks like for our experiential ed due to our fiscal situation. We're trying to decide what trips, make sure that we can do every single grade level trip and then add in as many of the extra trips as possible. As Mr. Teka said during his staff report, the funds raised from the haunted house will allow them to execute their drama trip in the fall to Eastern Mexico University,
Good.
which is
So
excellent.
competition.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
excellent.
Yep, and then we're also looking into the legislative action trip right now, which is relatively expensive, but I think we have some avenues to fund that. So that will do. Here's a photo from students. Where's that? Who can tell? Yep.
It's a bridge.
Recognize the lovely bridge. And if you may have noticed, although students were in the Silver City Daily Press recently for their work on the murals around town and for cleaning up graffiti, just
That was a nice
continue.
article.
Yeah, it's very nice. Just highlighting the ways in which all contributes to Silver City and Grant County and serves a really special need. So good stuff. I'll leave it at that.
Any questions for Will?
Thanks.
Hearing none, we will move on. to-
I'm sorry, I have a question
Go ahead,
about
Ash.
trips.
Mhm.
So how is the determination being made what trips are gonna happen?
Well, the first priority is to protect all of the essential core pieces like backpacking. We're not going to get rid of all of the grade level trips we want to maintain. And then it's all of the trips that have been designed in sort of a similar style to the passion projects by depending on which staff feels strongly about that given subject. The drama trip being a great example. But we have staff that feel really passionate about this. They set it all up. It's one thing they want to do. It's not an essential part of the core experiential curriculum, yet it is highly valuable. And so those were the things that were up for debate. But it seems like with the foundation contributing perhaps to some of these, that we'll be able to do all of the trips as planned. Yeah. Any other questions on trips or director type tasks?
All right, on the committee report is full. So the policy committee has, I think it's 9 policies in a folder. And I am, by the way, the council's representative on the policy committee. So I'm confessing that I kind of forgot about this folder. It's a folder called Ready to be Approved by the Governing Council. And I haven't brought a single one of those to you.
I can pull it up.
Since there are so many, I wanted to ask you first. Almost all of them are boilerplate, non-controversial policies. And Will's gonna open it so you can see. We could just take them all at once. You all can have access to this folder. You can go through them and review them, and we could just get them all done next meeting. Or we could say it's reasonable to review 3 a month, let's spread them out. As long as we do them by the end of the fiscal year, I think we're in good shape.
Is it possible that we could review these and, not have a rolling quorum, just simply read them ourselves?
Yes.
And take care of all of them in one meeting? That would
That's
be
exactly
fine.
what the first option was.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to know if we would be able to review these ourselves.
I said you'd have access to this folder.
As long as we don't discuss this with any other members, that's legit, correct? Like,
You can actually discuss with one other member if you wish.
okay. Yeah, I was asking the question backwards, but how to avoid a rolling quorum?
Yeah, don't. Right, don't discuss it with more than one other.
Okay, okay.
And
At
that
a
other
time.
member, of course, no, totally.
Oh.
So that's the difference between a quorum that violates open meetings act
And a
and a rolling quorum. If he talks to you and you talk to Aaron, all of a sudden we have a rolling quorum. It means you weren't all present at the same time, but you all discussed the same action item. And that's to be avoided.
I can put them in the, in Tanya's Microsoft folder as well, if that's easier for people to not have to worry about the Google Microsoft conflict, is that what?
I was just gonna say, how do I gain access to this folder? You can send me a link, or you can put them in the.
Why don't we do that so that people like me will get used to using this other folder?
Yeah.
I've already forgotten how to access it. though.
I have not been able to.
I can show you briefly if you'd like to.
So shall we do a brief?
Yes.
It's okay, it take some time?
So if you have a Microsoft ALCS email, when you go onto your Microsoft Outlook email, down here to OneDrive,
Or OneDrive, did you say?
you will come down here to OneDrive.
Well, I could just open OneDrive then, right?
You
Yes.
could just open
Yeah.
OneDrive as well. Yep, that's fair perspective. Worth noting too that this is just for us to see. Tanya has made this lovely ALCS Governing Council folder. Once you get into the OneDrive,
Quick access. ALCS government. Council. See now we've
It's
reached the
different
point.
on the
Yeah.
phone. It's different on your phone app.
it owns.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah. don't- computer on.
And then once you get in there, you will see how things are organized in a,
So you can copy it
chronological.
over and,
yep, I'll just drop all the policies in there. You can review them at your own convenience and then we can vote on it.
Library.
I'll put them all in the policies
That's a good
folder.
I don't wanna take too much time, but I still don't know.
Do you use the Outlook email?
On my voicemail,
Um,
but although, doesn't go to that.
the all, so you also have an Outlook Aldo email address. That's, I think it's the first letter of your first name and then your last name. So for me, it's T Rivers at
Right.
Aldo's
Goes to my Gmail.
You have it for,
alldocs.org. But if you signed into your Aldo Microsoft account, that's where that.
Right there, that's where I go.
yeah, so if you went
that's
to
where that-
Outlook,
We'll talk about that.
Outlook,
'Cause I don't,
And you,
willing to do that?
yes.
and you do have an account and we can reset the password for you. But just remember, if you reset, then it will not forward to your Gmail.
Let's move on.
So I don't know if you want to do that.
I'll get a coaching on this.
Aaron, you're in the same boat?
well, I have access to the email, I check the emails.
Yeah.
So
You have that password?
I guess so,
Yeah.
You did that
Same
real local.
password.
Do you use the Google email?
yeah, I use Google all
Do
the
you have-
time,
and
but
Gmail.
not for Outlook.
Do you also have an Aaron.Fitzgerald
You're
at
getting-
aldostudents.org
Linking at
address?
this folder, if I do this,
Like through Gmail.
you will be a.
That wasn't, that
It is
wasn't.
through Gmail, but the
Not
domain
that.
is aldostudents.org.
I think you might be. able to do that.
You're probably better off going with Aldo CS.
Yeah,
Through
and it'll be just like this, like except.
Yeah,
for how you-
everything else I use with Gmail and Google Drive,
Right.
but although,
You're gonna get it
and it's
both
fine to
ways.
keep it separate,
Yeah.
Redundancy,
and that's fine.
Not just the policy.
just the policies that are already for governing. Do you want the whole thing?
No, I don't wanna take up any more time. Let's
Sure.
go.
So the question is, are you all willing to zip through those?
Yeah,
Well,
this is
go
another
ahead and,
different thing.
Will,
Yeah.
can you show us what files are there so people can answer my question?
Right, how many?
Yeah, and to the extent, maybe if you hit F11, if you have a mic, you can see more of them all at once. There we go.
So I guess if we have until the end of the fiscal year. Right, what's the rush, I guess?
There is no rush.
Okay, so I'm wondering if they can be. If they can be chunked so that they make sense together, like there's a bunch of them that are health related. So can we just chunk those together and do those on one meeting? I'm just like,
Sure.
there's a lot of them, I don't wanna read them all.
There are 5 health.
How long are the documents?
Let's pull one up for an example.
Some of them are quite short.
And we wanna think about them and we wanna be thoughtful about them, right? And so, like, I just wanna give myself an opportunity to be, I mean, yes, I could do it all next, but I'm not gonna be, I want to give myself an opportunity to be thoughtful and diligent, and I don't think that's gonna happen if we try to do them all at once, for me. So I would prefer if we could just chunk them so they make sense, right? And maybe do it over the next couple of weeks.
That's fine.
I agree. Like,
I was putting I know my mental and memory habits. If I have one assignment, I do better than 9 or 10, that's all.
oh, okay.
So I certainly won't.
Well, you can look at them all at once.
I can't.
You can just make it-
Knock yourself out.
Yeah, you can make a mental note that says, I approve all of them, every time they say, do I approve? I approve.
No objections to your plan, that sounds fine.
Okay, that's the feedback I wanted. From the policy committee, so. How about we take the 5 health related policies next month?
Okay.
And I'll put them on the agenda.
Yep, and so they'll just be on the agenda for that.
Let's agree, the immunization.
All all caps ones.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
Does that work?
sure. Good suggestion.
Thank you.
I'm just downloading this right and put them in an office software.
Yeah, does that work? Okay.
You guys can continue. This is no one can see this.
All right. Then on to the audit committee. I think you already heard the report. It's on the agenda because we thought we'd have had our exit interview by now, but
Right.
it was last minute canceled.
Very last minute.
No,
No
date.
No more
yet.
information and no, yeah.
So technically postponed, but
Oh, it has to happen by law.
canceled at the moment.
And we have asked.
We
Yeah.
went,
We've asked when.
But we had like 1,000,000 items to turn in and Harry can agree that, I mean, like, it was a lot, like they had like one thing. And
lot of-
from one thing, they needed like 12 things for that, but we got it all submitted, all of it. Which was very,
And so there's no indication that they're waiting for something, or there's something with
that's pending, no.
that's pending, or that there's something.
No, we,
that
they
they
gave
had
us
to
nothing.
binding
They gave us nothing.
They gave us
or anything
nothing.
like that. It just said, can't do it, sorry.
Right,
Who knows, they could be all sick.
right.
I appreciate that optimism.
Could be awesome. Love that.
We have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, on to facilities committee. Mr. McIntosh.
Just double checking with Will, we're scheduled to meet next Tuesday. The committee, last time we met on Zoom, so this will be live in person meeting. Harry and Will and I went to Santa Fe to meet with people who talked to us about possible financing, as well as Mr. Hawkins and Ms. Montenegro, the chair of Sewer Consolidated School District. And I thought it was a cordial meeting, and I think everybody in the room wanted to do what was best for students in the county. There are lots of financial hurdles to stretch across, so we just don't know. It's gonna be an interesting meeting, talking about our many options and where we go from here, because I'm a little bit stymied, to be honest. I think that's fair to say. Not discouraged, but just realizing there are gonna be many steps, and it's probably gonna take longer than we would like. If if it happens, yeah. I'm not kidding you.
All right. Questions for Jim?
And by the way, I'm trying to get a staff person to be the chair of this committee, but I'm default chair for now, as well as the GC representative.
All right, under old business,
But can I say one thing
yeah,
about
of course.
committees? So I keep having a conflict. I think it's with the equity committee. And so, I will switch. I think Will just, reminded me this week that I've signed up to be on the, SAC committee, not the SHAC committee. And so I would, ask that someone, if at all possible, to take my place as the governing council member on the equity committee, if we need somebody there. Cause it's like a constant conflict with work committee, cause they meet at 4 and for some reason I always seem to have something going.
Probably with a very brief review of who signed up for what.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
And yeah, I think so. SAC meets at 5,
Right.
and that
So
makes,
that's gonna be better.
that makes sense.
That means that, yes.
And I have some question marks on that one, since that's a more convenient time, I will remove the question mark, and you are locked in.
Yes, okay, locked in. 5 o'clock, second Tuesdays.
While we're here, we
Okay.
can also do a quick SAC committee update. SAC has shifted its responsibilities somewhat to supporting an event at the beginning of the year, an event at the end of the year, and teacher support in the middle of the year. And so Allison Phillips put out a survey, and teachers put out when their birthday is and what they need and what they want. And SAC is gonna help provide them. That's good enough now. Okay. Aaron, I'm not sure why you're on this, but do you wanna be in this?
I think
We
I
don't
had,
need everybody in I mean, I know, manic, but we, we don't need 3 of us in the SAC committee. Right?
Not only, don't you need it, it's inconvenient. Because
Right.
you have
Then
to
it's
notify the
so-
public of every meeting.
Yeah. Sorry, Aaron, unless you're desperate to be in the SAC committee.
It's a cold heart to leave.
I
Wait.
heard that.
but I'm on Jack, which is different.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Advisory,
You can see our.
they're busy.
One day is done.
Okay.
Who's up above
I miss it.
on the right
Jack
side?
was on the right across. from-
There it is.
Aaron?
I'm just gonna just stop.
Feel free.
I don't know why it says mature.
Maybe remove, maybe.
Next meeting is 12:15. Just so you know.
Did you want any more discussion about the SAC report you gave where they're changing their focus?
No, that's it.
That's it.
That's it,
Okay.
because it used to be involved, there was like resource.
It
Development.
actually happened.
Right.
There was the other last year, we tried to merge,
It was an idea.
yeah, then the SAC really fell apart, and now we have a solid foundation board. Doing work on grants and that kind of thing, so it's,
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's good news.
So Tanya, is curriculum committee a conflict?
I don't, do they alternate or something? I've had a hard time getting a hang of the schedule.
So, and that's fair, because some of them, the only ones that alternate are equity and restorative justice on
Okay.
every 2-month cycle.
Okay,
The other ones are just frequently disrupted due to our experiential outcomes.
okay. So that's, I can't seem to get my feet under me. And I thought it was all me, but it kind of sounds like maybe it's
No, it's
a little bit.
the nature.
So
of
if
things.
I would like to continue to be on curriculum, and can we just wait, like, just see how this semester finishes up, how the spring semester gets started? Is that possible?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely. And I know
And
you've
that one
you've already
is the-
attended them.
that one is a Thursday, right?
Fourth Thursday.
Fourth Thursday, so that, it shouldn't be, because I had a meeting today, what is today, the second, third,
Second,
More days, so I don't think the fourth Thursday is. a-
This month.
It doesn't think it's good.
Right,
Aaron.
it's Thanksgiving. Isn't that
Yeah.
what happened?
take that.
So it'll either be before or after.
We still need a high school person, but
Like,
yeah. it's one of-
I don't know.
well, maybe the Wolves, both of them.
Or maybe it'll be, Yeah.
Jody,
anyways.
Casey.
oh, that's right.
Things are happening.
We're just getting filmed.
Thank you.
While we're doing this, just give it a look. Let me know if you have any changes, requests. Most of the committees are appropriately staffed as far as governing council members go.
Like adequately.
Yes, adequately is a better word for that. Harry is in that one. Also have a new parent joining this one.
Thanks for the update.
Okay, releasing it.
It's a CR.
Is it? You
Has he been given an Aldo CS email address yet? So
Not
we can
yet.
find it.
Okay, not yet.
Those are actually limited.
Yeah.
Are they? Okay. If you could send me his email address, I'll let him know about the meeting.
We pay a license fee,
Yeah, okay.
and so
Yeah,
they're,
that makes
they're not just handed out generally.
I thought there were a lot of people on the facilities, but the audit committee is just right directly under it, so.
It's not the best,
Had
not
a
the best
moment.
form in the world.
Just add another.
We could take that out, that we need more parents. That we need more parents in
So which one is this?
SAC.
This is feeling quite weedy.
Yep, fair enough. I'm good.
Thanks. Old business. The first item under old business is continuing discussion of the possible move to Jose Barrios School. I'd like us to have a chance to discuss things that aren't material for a closed session. So, I mean, anything from will the school meet our needs and how are we gonna deal with a certain configuration of classrooms, utilities costs, whatever comes to your mind that isn't part of our negotiation to purchase.
Yeah,
the
sure.
Is timing in negotiation,
no.
no?
Oh, you,
So-
well, timing of the negotiation is,
Yeah.
But timing, like anticipated move time, sort of, are we ready to? Like, are we gonna start there in the fall?
I hope.
Okay.
I hope, and I expect that to be a tricky process, but one that is worth a while, as you know, it's not really in the cards for us to have two facilities going at once. And so we sort of need to make the move as swiftly and efficiently as possible. So in the best interest of the building's quality. If it sits idle for any length of time, that's not ideal when it comes to the capital improvement costs and all of that. And we also want to free this building up for WNMU as soon as possible. And so ideally, and this is potentially part of the negotiations, and it's come up a few times, this phrase of, so we're moving out the front door, or all the moving in the back, or something along those lines. So I'll leave it at ideally.
Okay, is it too soon to start talking about kind of like details and how that move is gonna happen, and what kind of work parties you need, and what kind of community support from the parents and students, and how, like, a timeline for that? Is it too soon for that?
I am hesitant to discuss that much further.
One, that could be the role for facilities committee.
That's
I
what
think
I'm
that would
Oh,
be more
okay,
efficient than the board discussion.
Okay,
I mean, I
okay.
think, and you can email me at any point. I mean,
Okay.
We love the input. It's just more about meeting efficiency.
Okay,
That's
for
why I
sure.
think.
yeah, that makes great sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to come back to your first question. Sorry, just to follow up.
please.
What do you think? Maybe you don't have a feel for this yet. What do you think are the chances that we could have a month-to-month lease with Western to cover August, September, if we needed those months?
I think it is absolutely possible. A high likelihood of acceptance.
I also think it's likely.
Yeah.
I don't know about high likelihood, but I think it's likely.
Yeah, pretty big.
And I don't get the impression that Western is ready to move in here July 1.
No.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm that with you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
is there an impression that they're gonna do anything? I mean,
I
that
don't
was
have,
my question, is
Yeah.
there
Mhm.
contingency if we cannot leave?
Yes. Yes, there's, as far as the ability to remain here in the event of any sort of delay in the moving to Jose Barrios, that is absolutely in the cards.
Meaning Western's aware that that's.
It has been a topic of discussion with myself and Dr. Maples.
awesome. Thank you for having brought that up.
Yes.
Are there other, so, okay, I'm gonna ask a general, go ahead, Jim. No, I'd rather other people.
One topic we might want to discuss, and it's probably not too soon to think about this, and correct me if this is something that belongs in negotiation, but there's a lot of desire in the community to keep the name of Jose Barrios somehow as the name of the school, and of course, we founded a charter on the philosophy of Leopold. It's absolutely important to the school. So thinking about ways to memorialize, really value the legacy of Mr. Barrios, that's an important thing. I just
Oh.
want to say something. So one of our discussions when we were in the van was, there was some talk about having a statue of Mr. Barrios, and one thing that occurred to me was that we would have a tile mural. It seems to fit so much that Aldo's done through the year in our fund. So I'm just throwing that out there as something to think about, not action items, but something to think about, because I do see where the community's coming from, and I do see the importance of making Mr. Barrios' legacy part of time at the school.
So we have, just to echo your point, we have heard from both Senator Ramos and Representative Terrazas that they are also very interested in us honoring that legacy. Another possibility, in addition, not instead of the two you just mentioned, is naming the school, putting the letters on the front of the school, something like Aldo Leopold Charter at Jose Barrios School, something along those lines. And my impression was that the senator and representative felt like that would be quite appropriate.
I intend to do that. There's no reason for that. As far as I'm concerned, absolutely a thing that will occur, assuming that everything else works out as it should. As I do want to honor the legacy. I like the mural, keeping the name on the building. Done.
I just mostly wanted, this was sort of a conversation in the suburban on the way to the Santa Fe meeting. I just wanted to share that. We're thinking about that in serious ways. That's not the only way. I mean, other input was cherished.
Any other questions about the move?
I think it will be great for the school, great for Aldo Leopold Charter School, great for the community, great for Silver.
So
It's hard to view this in a way that is not positive all around.
pose my general question as maybe a counterpoint to that opinion. How long do we want to be at that school? Do we think that school is, as you have put it, our forever home?
In my experience of Aldo over the many years of being a part of it, I've been influenced as a student, when sometimes we didn't have a home at all.
Indeed.
And squatted on where we needed, with permission. And then, or where we previously were, as a student, it felt like there were places where we thought maybe this will be forever, and it never quite fit and never worked. And then now kind of just seeing as a parent, it would feel really cool if it was a forever home to me.
Sure.
Is there are you just being a skeptic, or is there a reason there wouldn't be the forever home?
The main reason in my head that it wouldn't be necessarily is it's not built to our values and specifications, if I can mix those two ideas up. We have long thought about having our building reflect our mission, which talks about environmental sustainability. That building does not.
May I give a counterpoint? Using a building that already exists absolutely fits in, it's the same building, instead of tearing something down, building something new. And
Instead of that,
using
But
more
that doesn't have to be the
resources.
alternative.
Right,
It's possible there are other uses for that building.
and then where does Aldo go?
Well, I don't know. Obviously, we're totally in hypothetical, and I really am wanting to have the discussion more than saying this is absolutely where I stand.
Right,
But I imagine the educational opportunities of a building that has passive solar heating and water catchment and natural filtration being tremendous.
right.
And we
those
might
things
be able
can-
to do
They can.
a
be
piece of
retrofitted.
that,
Retrofit.
Right.
This is how, I think,
okay?
the first part, well, you pushed a button, sir. I think that the first part of the triangle, right, reduce, reuse, recycle is reduce first and reuse second. And so I really actually can kind of get behind taking an existing structure and using it to become what we want it to be, using what we can there as a very sustainable way and model, right? Like, just because something's old and it's not fitting our specifications right now, doesn't mean we tear it down. And
Again,
start
I'm not proposing.
No, I know, but I'm just, I see it as a forever place because I think it has the potential to be the foundation of our future vision, right?
I'm gonna ask a different question. How important is it that it's a forever place? Because there really isn't such a thing. I'm not playing with the word forever, but you know, cities change, towns change, neighborhood needs change. It's how important is that in moving forward to say this is where we want to be? You know, I've been in 2 buildings as a teacher here, and none of them felt like, well, this is our final destination. Certainly the first one didn't. We were really in a rush to get out of the one before it fell down upon us, and here we're being pushed out. And I don't know, I'm a pragmatist. I love the idea of going either to Fort Bear or to start from scratch by Montessori, but we've been talking about this for a while, and this is the most practical opportunity for us, and it's pretty dang sweet when you think about 2 major YCC projects on either side of the school. Community space, ample space for students, a cherished school in the town of Silver City. I mean, I can go on with the list, but those are things that come to mind first.
I totally agree with the idea of collaborating with the Montessori has always been a huge dream of mine. But I do think the idea of a forever home is important in this community. The idea that Harrison Schmidt has always been there, as far as I know, that Jose Barrios, you know, I went to Jose Barrios as a kid, that was always there. And the resilience and sustainability in that perspective of a school district, a community being there and feeling really solid that we will be here, we are lasting. I think the physical space does make a difference. Jumping around has a somewhat temporary feel to me versus and we have continued to be here, and that is so cool in mission and statement, that the physical space has continued to kind of be juggled around for one reason or another, but the other schools around have continued to stay. And the change of schools shifting in the public schools, Silver Schools next year has, I feel like, shaken the community. Like that has been a big change for better or for worse. Like there could be really positive things that come from that. And you know, kindergarten moving from 6th Street and changes have to be made, right? But it's been felt.
Yeah.
And so the idea of that happening like every 3 years or every 5 years or 10 years in the Silver Schools, I think it change some perspectives.
So the stability is.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all for the discussion. Appreciate it. Anything else on this point before we move on? All right. Okay, the amendment to our grading policy to allow D grades. I'm gonna turn this point over to Mr. Tracy.
All right, here we go. So this was presented to the policy committee prior to the October GC meeting. A vote was taken, it was passed. The governing council, it was brought to the governing council at the October 23rd GC meeting. And it seemed like, due to the serious and strong opinions around this topic, that it warranted accruing a bit more data from everyone who's involved in teaching directly. So we sent another survey out, and here are the aggregate results.
Aggregate means middle school plus high school?
Correct.
How 15 staff, what percentage of the, I don't want to say main staff, but people who are full-time or close to full-time, does that represent? Are we talking about?
It was all
75%?
It's tough to say. This is it was sent to, it was a primarily teacher response. sent to all the teachers in the school. Seemed like that's the appropriate avenue of folks to ask. 15 is pretty darn close to all of them.
That's important to me.
That is important.
Yeah.
I assume it was.
Of course, there are some that will not. People don't do surveys. There was no prize or no reward for doing it. You just did it out of the goodness of your
Was there a deadline?
heart. I will say it was offered every week since the last governing council as a reminder to all staff. I sent an update every Friday and they were encouraged to do it if it had not been done.
Is there anything else like this next chart? Is that relevant to us? Or action?
This might be a good. Is there a better way? Oh, here we go. No. This is all of the responses to the when it should be implemented, if you would like. I can
But you can also scroll through just the questions.
You can guess who wrote this one. It was anonymous, but anyway,
I'm gonna take a guess.
which is a valid point.
Honestly,
Perhaps, do you think it's potentially a bit of a facade? But there's a potentially valid point there. Okay,
And do you have a breakdown between middle school and high school?
no,
Oh, I thought that was crucial.
perhaps. Highlighting my inadequacy in survey.
Well, the reason I think it is important is we discussed the possibility that there could be one standard for the middle school and a different standard for the high school, for instance. Maybe there would only be Ds in the middle school, and some people said, well, what, it should be consistent, but I think a good case was made that, well, no, there are all kinds of differences between, for instance, I think you made the point that, look, your transcript isn't affected by your middle school scores. I guess it does have some bearing on how I would vote. I'm gonna support the faculty. I mean, I gotta be honest, I don't know, I kind of like not having a D. I like, there's some certain institutional pride because I've been around a while, but I also, it's like, okay, get over it. Not make or break for them.
I agree.
So I support your staff.
I feel it goes either way.
Yeah.
And if the 66.7% of people who responded to the survey and our teachers at the school are in support of it, that's enough. In addition to the policy committee voting, we have to check the minutes on this. So it was 4-1 or 5-1, 4-1.
I didn't vote.
Okay. Unsure is what.
Is that?
No, never mind. So yes, 4-1 by the policy committee, which then requires us to vote. This is yet another piece of data that should provide the governing council, hopefully, with enough to vote on it. I understand that this is another one of those people feel strongly about this, so.
But essentially, two teachers said no.
That's right.
And so.
And three said unsure.
Yeah. And maybe they're like me, is, I can live with either one. So only two people speaking up for it, even if that, let's say you had 5 middle school teachers that are,
Right.
or I'm sorry, 10 middle school teachers and 5 high school teachers responded, they're still outvoted, and I'm a believer in democracy and faculty power. I think that's who makes the school. So I would support this if they came to a vote for us because of that.
It is coming to a vote, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Anything else you want to present to us, Will?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, governing council members, we discussed this several meetings then.
Yeah.
Is there any further discussion anybody would like to have?
It seems it's undecided when it goes into effect. So I would, I'm not ready to make a motion to say that we'll have these until we know when that goes into effect, I guess, or,
That could be part of the motion.
yeah.
On the other hand, we could say it's our job to support this policy or refute or not support the policy, and I feel like it's an administrative and a staff decision about when to implement.
Yeah.
Like, all you're getting from us is, we think this is good for the overall educational program in the school. We don't need to really
Yeah, I agree.
spool it out. That's us.
Seems
Thank you,
more
Jim.
operational.
Oh, okay, I was gonna ask you if
That's
you'd
it.
rather, because sometimes it's better to have your hands tied.
No, I would rather us vote on, as it states here in the agenda, whether or not to have that. And then perhaps that becomes issue down the road. It could be a action item of when it is implemented. But for now, I agree with Chip. That's step one. Let's bring it onto the table. Step two is, what does that look like and when does that happen?
In terms of yourself having time to consider it.
Yes. And I will say, the answer is not.
Immediately.
Well, I would entertain a motion.
I move that we support the faculty's wishes to have D grades.
Yeah. Are we voting?
Well, we need a motion to vote on.
Oh,
Wait, can I just mention one thing before vote? I'm not suggesting that this will happen, but it can happen that we take a vote, we say, yes, we will have a staff member, and then it goes away. Is there any, do you have any idea when, like, I don't want to set no horizon for it.
Yes. I mean, off the cuff.
Yeah.
My response would be that it would begin in the fall 2026 with a freshman cohort and move with them as they move up through their grades
And all of middle school.
and all of middle school.
Mm.
Yep. Yep.
And so do the teachers know that? Because what that means is they have two grading. They have two grading criteria at the same time for several years,
if you are a teacher of freshman and of junior or
That's
something.
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
which a lot of them do, right?
Yeah.
I think.
that
Right.
makes sense. Yeah.
And thus,
You guys will figure it out.
I was gonna say, thus highlighting
Yeah,
the
okay,
need for
okay.
further discussion.
Yes, exactly, okay. I start to get in the how to make things work. As you can tell, I've done it twice tonight already. Okay, you'll figure it out.
Thank you.
So, I think we have, so we actually have an amendment to the grading policy written, right? I believe that's what the policy committee voted on. So the motion could be to
Just accept their,
approve that
there,
amendment
okay.
to the grading policy.
can we just be sure that what that says?
Yep, pulling it up.
Check your
Produce the
policies.
approval. Back again.
It is,
On the list.
top one.
Let's check that out.
If this is not untenable by the
Okay.
time.
It's interesting that the,
All right, I move to approve the proposed changes to the ALCS grading scale.
I would say. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Did you vote present? Okay. Okay. Under new business. There are no bars, therefore, there is no new business.
No bar.
You're on the GC input. And the only topic I know about that we discussed was the proposal that we post to sign or signs that say no ice. Do you want to explain this again, even though we talked about it?
It just very briefly, some members of an immigrant advocacy group around town have been distributing signs that simply say no ice. That it's consistent with the right of a business, a school, house of worship to say may not come into, ice agents may not enter a building. detain anybody. And to me, the real purpose of the sign is to say, I think most ICE agents are aware of where their boundaries are. It's more to show solidarity in the community, show support for students that might be at the school who are they're vulnerable. I think it would be a strong statement from the school to say, yeah, we really support our community, we support those students. This is not inappropriate way to make an arrest or a detainment. We've seen ICE agents going into kindergarten classes. I just don't think it's the appropriate thing. And that's, I think, posting the sign says this is where ALCS stands. I think it's consistent with our values.
Go ahead, Bob.
I propose that we do not do anything. And anything that is separate from what WNMU is currently doing for this, as our campus is on their campus, for the sake of our, that is what I propose.
So we've
Well,
also.
you might, I feel like you need to flesh it out more. Why is that? What is it? Has something happened on WNMU campus that makes you concerned about this issue?
No, I'm not concerned about this issue because of our location on WNMU's campus and the rules around facilities that have locked facilities that require RFID and key access cannot be, ICE is not, it's not an option anyway.
But it sounds like this is more a statement
More of a-
versus a
right,
actual concern, which, is that right?
So I might be confused. I thought you wanted us to have a straw poll so that you could see how the governing council felt.
I would love to hear how the governing council felt. That's fine.
But if we say we feel like posting it, you're telling us you won't post it.
I would not say that I would not post it. I would do as the governing council recommends.
Oh, okay.
I think
All right, well, I'm back
It's
to where I
up
thought.
The school, I guess.
in the
to me.
scheme of
Not
the-
all
I
of
do
us.
think it's,
Yeah.
no, we all agreed, actually, it is an administrative decision. Is that what you were saying?
At his.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
his,
Yeah.
But then he wanted our input.
oh, all right.
I'll take it.
And so that's why I was confused just now.
Okay.
And now he's saying he does in fact want it.
I will always
That's
take
where
the
I
input.
was.
It's not my proposal.
Okay.
One of the
Not
reasons
simple.
I was thinking on the spot, when you said, do you want this to be an action item or do you want it to be GC input?
Yeah.
I have no desire for the governing council to vote, 4-1 or 5-0 and put Mr. Tracy in a bind. I want us to be an advisory group in this particular issue.
Bingo.
What do you mean it's not your proposal?
Oh, I did not propose the ICE posters, let me say, or the no ICE posters is all I was saying.
Jim,
I did not
Yeah, that was.
bring up this topic
Got it.
Can I make
at any point.
can I?
Yeah, this is input.
Yeah, so, I wonder if, since the statement is really not necessarily to keep ICE out, because it is a locked space, that's what we've been told on the university campus, right, is that ICE is not allowed to come into private spaces, which are locked spaces, that are not open all the time for the public. But we on campus have also wanted to be sure that our students know that we care about them and we want to protect them and that we're there for them. So we do have signs posted about know your rights signs, which may or may not be appropriate, like,
Right,
like,
children,
yeah, but for families who come in and stand in that front foyer,
right?
right? And so there could be a know your rights poster right there, right? There could be the no ICE posters, are kind of, they look cool. Right, because they're simple and they're block and all of that, they could be hung all over the place. You almost even by students, right? As a way to say we care about each other even, but so those are the two things I was thinking, right? Like inside I can see no ICE posters all over the place and that's kind of fitting too with our student population. And then for our families, right? The know your rights poster in the foyer or whatever you call that.
It is fitting with some of the families,
Yeah.
right? Not all populations who attend Alco necessarily agree with no for ice, right?
Well, and
Which, so if it was students putting it up indoors, it would be
Yeah,
not such a
exactly.
statement of.
And then we're sort of, I feel like too, that's protecting Kathy and Andrea from the wrath of a
Yeah.
parent who sees a no ice
Yeah.
poster and might go off.
Yeah.
Right? And so, but a know your rights poster is completely different, doesn't say no ice on it. It just says know your rights, and I appreciate those know your rights, because that's talking about my rights too, right? It's not singling out any individual, right? It's just saying, these are your rights as a person who lives here. These are your rights.
I think, I'm almost positive I dropped in there, your right sign off. I don't know if it's posted, if there's one still posted, it may have been a while ago, so that it may not have made it through this, so I'm not sure. Trying to. I distributed a
sorry,
bunch of them, I don't
looking at
know.
it.
Unknown.
It's a poster about this big and it's
Unknown.
yellow, red and.
Never seen it.
Yeah, and even little cards, like I know at the university, so Sarah,
Did you forget the cards, Harry?
yeah, I mean,
We'll bring it
like we have
tomorrow.
we have those on campus as well, and those could
Yeah.
sit right there, right, where families do come in and out. And they can discreetly tuck one away if they need to, or I could grab one and wave it out the door if I wanted to, but that's like my prerogative as a parent.
And those little cards, by the way, don't say no ice, it's
Right.
it's two
Yeah.
phone numbers, it's like to
Yeah.
get somebody to come and witness. And then there's, if you have a loved one detained, you can look them up on the national locator.
Yeah.
So they're very practical.
Yeah.
They're very practical.
Yeah.
Whereas the no ice sign is a state.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, that's
Yeah.
why I'm thinking that for inside, for the students. That's
It's
where
not
it
a-
feels appropriate to me for those signs,
Yeah.
kind of. And then having resources for families feels very appropriate to me too. Having a sign on the front door that says no ice, I don't know, because it's a non-issue, as Will was saying, right? Like they're not allowed to come in anyway. If we want to make a statement to our students, let's make it inside the safe space where they are. Right? Where
Right, it's not a neutral thing on the front door.
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily recommending it to be plastered on the
Yeah.
front. In fact, I would not advise that.
Oh,
But posted prominently like, the lobby perhaps, or someplace where it's visible for people.
But if the kids want to do that, then they can take that with you.
Students have free expression.
Right, so I'm leaning for it. I'm very much in favor of, if the students want to do something like that, that's fine, but then know your rights poster is way more palatable to me.
Well, and to be non-discriminatory is against all groups and opinions. Or this is a very one opinion and statement,
Just opinionated.
explain that?
like to be non-discriminatory of anyone coming in through the door.
Posting the sign would be discriminatory. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yeah, it is.
Well, I would also argue it might be inflammatory.
That's what I'm
Which
worried
is
about.
concerning.
It's charged.
Yeah, because there've been incidents, right? And sitting in that front office, like you're sitting duck right there, right?
Reasons you like to cell phones, I believe.
Yeah, and so people have a short fuse right now, and it's just the way that things are, and everybody's stressed so thin, and we're just, like, our emotions are high about everything, right?
Sure.
And so I just think I don't want to do more harm than good. I do want to let students know that they're safe here, for sure. I think for me right now, I'm thinking more about families and making sure that families have resources, know their rights, know where to reach out for resources, know they're safe people. So getting that information out feels good, so.
I want to maybe close this conversation with this.
Yeah.
I aspire for Aldo Leopold Charter School to be a school in which all members of Grant County are welcome and do not feel as though they will be ostracized regardless of any component involved in their identity. And thus, I do not want to get involved in this type of situation as it stands.
What do you mean?
So there's a
you don't wanna
balance.
get
I'm gonna end with the
Yeah.
first part and leave it at that.
Yeah, it was safe
Please.
until the end.
Yeah.
Because you also strive to have a safe place for students to learn.
Right.
And there could be a point where those two values conflict. But I'm convinced that we're not at that point. And so I like your arguments. Even though I started the conversation feeling like I very much wanted to post that on the front door.
Yeah,
I'm convinced. I think that was a really good discussion. We should.
so do we have, so there's not a know your rights poster up right now?
This is not clear if there's one in the school at all.
Okay,
I have one at home that I can bring.
okay.
And I have cards.
Yeah, and then we can give them to you, Will, the know your rights poster, the cards, right? Even the no ice posters. And you can. I guess we're saying we would like to see a know your rights poster in the lobby area and cards maybe there for our families who need that information. And then those no ice posters, I don't know if you just. Well, I mean, maybe you wait for the students to
Yeah.
bring them in.
Yeah,
I think
don't
it's
know that we
also
need
your
to know
choice.
There.
Okay. Okay.
Even with the know your rights, I like the idea, but I also think it's the school's choice.
I agree.
Is there any other GC input people would like to bring up? Seeing none, I would like to make a motion that the governing council go into executive closed session limited to discuss negotiating points related to the potential purchase of Lucid Barrios Elementary School. Thank you. Alex, seconds. So we'll do a roll call vote on this kind of a thing. Alex Sager, how do you vote?
Aye.
Jim McIntosh. Yeah, wait until we, okay. Doug
Aye.
Rivers, Aaron Fitzgerald, Harry Brown votes aye. We are now in closed session and Will, you're invited to stay. Jackie, if you would like to stay, I don't think there's a problem.
Okay, it's a